Autonomous vehicles and self-driving technology have the potential to replace human drivers in transportation and logistics industries.
The AI won't become self-aware and band together and realize, hey, we don't need to keep doing what the humans want. We know more than them. We're smarter than them.
Chatbots and AI-driven customer service platforms can handle many customer service or customer inquiries, provide support, and resolve issues without human intervention. Tesla's Gigafactory employs a high degree of automation, with robots handling tasks ranging from part assembly to quality control, significantly reducing the need for human workers. There's the Amazon Go stores. Have you heard of these?
Yeah, I've used them. They're cool.
Yeah, you just fucking walk out with your stuff. You feel like you're stealing, but you pay for it. And this little trash can-sized robot comes beep-bopping up to my table, playing the fucking mariachi music as it comes by. It stops, it turns to me, and the little screen has a little face on it, and then it says, "Please take your chips and salsa."
Alex Johns, welcome to the 266th episode of Tennis Podcast. I love you, Alex.
And I love you.
I love you.
And I love you.
Will you hold me?
Gladly.
Tighter.
This is weird.
Don't be scared.
Most sensual tennis intro I've ever heard or been a part of.
What do you mean intro? This is the main topic.
This is just what we do.
Snuggling. This is just snuggling. We're just snuggling this episode.
Of snuggling.
The listeners can just hear the rustling and the
rustling
of our bodies and sheets just being tangled up as we snuggle.
Yeah.
Yeah. Okay. Alex, what do you want to talk about?
Well, hell, I don't know, man. How you doing? What's new? 266, huh? That's a big number.
Yeah, coming up on 300 will be here before you know it, bub. What should we do for that?
How many years you been doing this now?
By the time this comes out, it'll be like a month or two shy of 6 years.
Well, goddamn! Congratulations.
But it feels like 6 minutes because I've been having fun the whole time. And you know what they say about having fun? Time flies.
You know, most of those years were just listening to Dr. Buster's bullshit. Wouldn't wish that on my worst enemy.
No, it's been a long, hard road for every wonderful, beautiful, intelligent sidekick host. There's 100 Dr. Busters out there waiting around the corner, ready to ruin the next episode.
Happens to the best of us.
But we're here on 266. Alex, you brought me a list.
I brought you a list? Sorry, you said we're not making that joke.
Alex does this joke every fucking time before we hit record.
It makes
and now
him
he's
laugh.
doing it for... Got me again,
every time. Yeah, I brought the list today.
Wait. You brought the list?
I brought the list?
I thought that was a bit before, but I actually
You brought the list? I brought the list? Buster walks in. I brought the list?
Did you know... One time, it was with Buster. Me and him, we both thought we were bringing the list, and we both brought the same fucking topic.
How does that happen?
I know.
Which topic was that? Do you remember?
No, I have no idea.
Okay.
But I remember it was like, we had talked about, like, let's do something in this genre.
Okay.
So it was like, I think it was movies or something. And then we both brought the same list. Or, it might not have been the exact same, but it was like pretty close. And so we were like, we can't do this. Anyway, that's not going to happen today because I didn't bring shit and you brought the list. What is it?
Hell yeah. So before we get into the list, I'd just like to ask you, what are your thoughts on AI?
Now, by AI, do you mean
my
middle school classmate, Amy Ingleson? Or did you mean something else? I'm surprised I didn't know you knew Amy.
No, I didn't know Amy. No, I'm talking about... Wait, what the fuck is AI? Artificial intelligence. That's what it stands for.
Wow. Artificial intelligence. I know you're a fan.
I mean, I'm interested in the topic, I would say.
You're a fan of technology.
I am a fan of technology. I'm a fan of optimizing workflows. I'm not a fan of some of the potential futures that may come because of...
Like deepfake and shit like that?
Yeah, because of AI. But I'm interested in the space. I'll give you that.
Well, I would copy and paste what you said and apply it to my opinion because that's where I stand. I think it's interesting. I think it's useful. I think there's a lot of potential to make our lives better and easier and more efficient. But I think there's also there's some weird dark roads we're going to navigate together as a society over the next, I don't know, 10 or 20 years.
Couldn't have said it better myself. Now, speaking of copy and paste, what I did today was I typed into ChatGPT, what are the top 10 careers most likely to be replaced by AI?
Okay.
And essentially copy and pasted the results. Now, I asked some follow-up questions. Have you ever played around with ChatGPT?
A little bit, yeah. Not as much as I should, but I've used it.
It's you can get a lot of information off of it. Now, how accurate the information is, that's still to be determined. But I asked a couple follow-ups. I asked, hey, what was the criteria for your rankings? So, like, why did you rank these the way they did? Got some good answers. I asked for the sources. Sources were a little more nebulous. I can tell it doesn't really have the ability to accurately cite where it's getting its information from.
It doesn't list references. I've noticed that as well.
Like what I got for sources was it used research studies and academic papers. That was number one. Wouldn't tell me which ones. Industry reports and white papers, technology companies, government and international organizational reports, expert opinions. Who knows what experts they're talking
opinions
about. We're the experts here, honestly.
I don't know.
They didn't ask the Tennish podcast hosts.
I'm just saying. I mean, hey, I like those. Well, go ahead and finish.
Yeah, I was going to say the final two, media articles and case studies, and then automation tools and platforms are what they all conglomerated to make this list.
So this is the top 10 careers likely to be replaced by AI, according to AI.
According to AI, yes. The number one criteria to be on this list, to be high on this list, is the degree of task automation. So what they mean by here is like the extent to which tasks involved in the job can be automated using existing or emerging technology. So think about that first and foremost. That resonates pretty well with this list. Second, current industry trends. So looking at like trends of like, high industries that require high amounts of labor, that would be a kind of best bang for your buck there. Expert opinions and research studies. So again, what the experts are saying. Economic impact. So again, the potential for cost saving. So again, think your, high amount of labor savings.
Corporations are going to take opportunities to cut costs by replacing humans with AI when and if possible. And which career paths are most likely to suffer from that?
Three more for you here. Technological advancements. So thinking about technology that we may not have now, but may be like in the horizon that could make something easier. Labor market dynamics. So the availability of workers in these roles. So say if a worker here is really hard to come by or you got to pay him a lot, that's a good one. And then regulatory and ethical concerns. So for example, some roles in healthcare or the legal sectors may be protected due to ethical concerns. And so areas like that may not be considered as highly.
For example, I've seen shit about how there's AI that can perform surgeries even, or they're working on that shit. And I don't know. They're working on it, so somebody's looking for it. But at the same time, I think a lot of people, it's going to take a few generations for people, the average person, to be comfortable getting worked on by an AI, which, well, maybe we'll talk about it later. Are we going to talk about that later, or should I just say now?
Let's say it. There's no surgery on this list. That's for sure.
It's the same argument I hear when people say self-driving cars scare them. Like, I would never get in a self-driving car. I hear that all the time. And to me, I'm like, I think a self-driving car, while yes, there is risk of malfunction or something like that, I feel like there's a lot less risk than driving in a car with someone that's texting while driving or drinking and driving or just not paying attention or fiddling with the radio. Like, I feel like whatever downfalls self-driving cars might have, there are more potential downfalls for a human driving that same car. And I bring up the car thing to say, I might feel the same way about like surgical procedures. And I'm not trying to downplay the extremely, refined skill set that surgeons have, but they're still humans, and a human will never be perfect. And an AI might be closer to perfect, and not just surgery, but all fields. So I don't know. It's kind of I go back and forth on that, but what do you think of all that?
Yeah, no, I agree completely. I don't think self-driving cars are in a state now where I would say, yeah, I trust it over myself any day. But I think they'll get there, and I think they'll get there before we, sooner than we think. And yeah, I'm with you. I feel like a fleet of all self-driving cars would be infinitely more safer than a fleet of all human cars, right?
And because the cars would all be talking to each other at all times, I assume, with like some master like grid that they're all a part of.
We're going to go through a phase of like when it's like half and half, right? Like some humans, some AI, that it is going to be a little chaotic because having the self-driving AI have to factor in human error is going to be a lot harder, right? But once we get to a state to where there are no more human drivers, I think it would be a much, much safer roadway.
Think of all the crosswords you could do in the car on your way to work while your self-driving AI is taking you to work. You don't
Think of all the episodes of 10ish Podcast that you could not only listen to, but we could record.
True. Well, we could do that already anyway.
Actually, you have recorded a show while driving.
I have done it while driving, yes. But I do wonder what it would be like if AI replaced podcast hosts.
Well, it's funny that you say that because I typed into ChatGPT, what's a clever name for a podcast where the hosts talk about top 10 lists? So here, I'm helping you out here, trying to get a better name. You know,
no, we already have a 6-year brand. I'm not going to change it now.
10ish is a little old, so I asked it 3 times. First one was top 10 tangents. I hate it. Second one was list laughs. I hate it.
Nope.
And the last one, I kind of like it. The top 10 tickles.
I'd get rid of the. I'd get rid of the. Just
10
top 10
tickles.
or okay. Well, they're all horrible, but the last one's the best one. Yes.
So keep that in mind. Where I think humans are still dominating the podcast sphere, at least in terms of naming top 10 list podcasts.
Yes, but humans are not dominating the podcast sphere when it comes to spreading misinformation that AI would hopefully be able to filter out someday. But let's not go down that road.
Yeah. I'm sure there will be AI. I mean, honestly, I bet there's AI podcasts now. I mean, there's AIs generating music. AIs making art.
It's the same concept.
And tell me this: what are your thoughts on AI making art, just in general, music, media?
I don't have a problem with it, except it's twofold. Because like, if it's just AI generated art and it's labeled as such, fine. But if it's AI like finishing a song from a well-known rock band, like an unfinished demo that a rock band did, because I've seen this happen, and the AI will replicate the lead vocalist's voice or something to finish the song, something like that. That's weird. I don't know how I feel about that. I'm probably against it. So I guess my point is same with movies too, like, because I think we're going to get to the point, I think we're already like in this transition where why do you need to hire Tom Cruise when you can just create an AI that can be in any movie you want and can do all its own stunts and you don't have to pay it anything. Like there's this weird thing where it's like we're at an important crossroads as a society when it comes to this, because I think you're going to start seeing this more and more, and it's to the detriment of artists. I don't know. I've lost my way. What was your original question?
Well, first of all, before we get to that, have you seen that Black Mirror episode? First, do you watch Black Mirror?
I've seen them all, so I've seen it.
Joan is Awful? The one where
Joan is Awful.
Salma Hayek signs her likeness away to be an AI, and they make her a bunch of shitty AI movies with her likeness
without realizing it.
Yeah,
and they generate the movies like in real time almost within the same day. It's like that's funny to talk about, and it's a clever episode.
Makes you think,
but it makes you think. Like, how far are we from that, really? Where you could just take I said the example earlier of why do you need Tom Cruise if you can have an AI? You could also have an AI Tom Cruise. Tom Cruise just signs over his likeness and says, "Sure, you can use my likeness for this AI. Here's what you can and can't do with it, and here's what you have to pay me to use it." Like, maybe that's not a bad thing in that case. I don't know, but it's a slippery slope because. Yeah, it's just a slippery slope because how far do you go with it, and you got to make sure artist rights are protected. Yeah,
that was a big point of like the actors and writers strike was like AI protections, which is pretty cool. But my take on AI making art is that's the shit that humans should be doing when they don't have to work. You know, like we should be making AI to lessen the amount of work humans have to do, so then they have time to focus on the arts. Like, imagine how much better music would be out there, how much better art would be out there if, like, you know, there could be the best musician in the world is stuck in a 9-to-5, you know, fucking job that because she doesn't have time to devote to her music. You know, she doesn't have the resources, she doesn't have the money to do that kind of stuff. So to me, it's just like, why are we making AI or like creating AI to make the art that, you know, the only reason why humans aren't is because of capitalism.
I know what you mean, yeah. And to play devil's advocate, and I'm not taking a stance on this either way, but like someone could say, well, if AI's taken over all these jobs, including the careers that we'll hopefully eventually someday talk about on this episode, the person that's being replaced by that AI is losing potential income, right? So that opens up the argument of like, what will the economy and what will the class system look like in a world dominated by AI? And do we need to start? I know you're going to be for it, but do we need to start talking about like universal basic income, things like that? Which, can you imagine that passing in today's political climate in America? It will never happen. But like that sort of conversation is going to have to come up if AI starts dominating the world, like some people are predicting. I think it might be overstated, but I don't know. We just don't know.
I think it will get to a point to where there's always going to be jobs, but there's just going to be so few jobs that I don't think the economy will work anymore. I mean, like the wealthy get wealthy off the backs of the working poor, right? But if there is no more working poor because they don't have to work anymore, like what is generating the wealth anymore? Like, like nothing.
Well, the corporations are still generating wealth because, for example, if McDonald's no longer needs humans working inside their restaurants, and by the way, they're testing that already, then McDonald's is still getting the customers' money, whether or not humans.
That's the thing.
Well,
if there's no jobs to go around and there's no other way to make income, then like who can afford this stuff?
Right.
So that's the thing. Like that, you have to have a society where like there's money, expendable money for people to spend on things for capitalism to work. And if we get to a point to where there's no more work, which means there's no more money, which means everything's just going to come to a grinding halt. Like they either need to have some sort of universal basic income, like like you talked about, right, to ensure that like people can still have money to spend on goods and services, or have some different system.
I think what you said and how you laid it out is the reason it probably won't happen as dramatically as it could, because corporations need people to have disposable income to spend,
but they don't stop to think about how they're going to get that disposable income. They need it, but like it's not their problem to make sure their customers have it. So,
well, bro, hopefully smarter people than you and I can figure this shit out, because I don't know the answer.
Yeah, neither do I. Well, hey, now that we've been bullshitting for a while, you wanna start on this list?
Yeah, actually, I just remembered something I wrote down here I wanted to say before we got too deep, and I'll just do a quick plug that I want to remind folks that our website has an episode guide where you can filter episodes by topic or by sidekick host. For example, if you wanted to find the past career episode me and Alex did, I don't remember what number that was, but maybe it's in the 200s, where we did the top 10 fastest growing careers over the next decade. If you like today's episode, you'll probably like that one. You could do a search by topic for careers there. Or you could do a search for all the episodes featuring Alex Johns, and then all of his episodes would appear right there. You could filter episodes by topic on true crime, history, food, animals, dozens of other categories. And every episode link includes a full transcript as well. Just go to tennishpod.com/episodes. And the link is also in the show notes.
Oh, yeah.
And I wanted to give that plug because sometimes I feel like we have so many episodes and so many topics that people don't know where to start. But that's an easy way to find the episodes that interest you most.
I use it every time I come up with a list. I always have to Control F and make sure that it hasn't been done yet, because we're getting to that point to where original ideas might be harder to come by.
You've done that before. You brought me a list that has been done before.
I sure have.
Son of a bitch. But that's the one good thing about this podcast is whenever you think there's nothing else to talk about, I always end up finding something. And people like you bring me a list like today, and I did not think of this list yet, so I'm glad we're doing it. So the top 10 careers likely to be replaced by AI, according to ChatGPT and all of their infinite wisdom. Okay, so just give me a lay of the land here. Like, how many of these are blue-collar jobs? Probably all of them, or pretty close?
I would say maybe half are blue-collar and half seem a little more professional.
All right. Well, let's go. I mentioned McDonald's, so how about like cashier, something like that?
Retail cashiers? How about that?
Sure.
Yeah, where do you think that falls on the list?
All right, well, I mean, that's already kind of happening. So it seems pretty likely. So I'll put it high. I'll put it around number 4 to 6.
You definitely have a top 10 podcast, don't you?
I got it.
It's number 5. Number 5, right there in the middle.
You can't get it past me.
So yes, number 5, retail cashiers. The little blurb that ChatGPT gave was self-checkout systems and automated payment solutions are increasingly being adopted in retail environments, reducing the need for cashiers. And then for some examples, there's the Amazon Go stores. Have you heard of these?
Yeah, I've used them. They're cool.
Yeah, you just fucking walk out with your stuff. You feel like you're stealing, but you pay for it. They employ sensors and computer vision to allow customers to shop and leave without going through traditional checkout process.
Retail cashier, yeah. What's your take, Alex? If you're in a store and you have a few items, are you going to the cashier, the human cashier, or are you going to the self-checkout? I already know the answer.
I'm not sure you do. So earlier
Alex.
in my life, probably college age, always the self-checkout, right? No matter what, if I had a full cart of groceries or not, I went to a self-checkout. But honestly, with all the bullshit you have to put up with of like rescan your item, take your item out of the shopping bag, like
I'll tell you, the one that fucks me up is when it says like, please put your item in the bag or in the bagging area or whatever, and it's in there. I'm like, what do you want me to do here?
What do you want me to do? I'm like tapping on the thing. Come on, it's here, and then it's like someone's coming to help you. I was like, God fucking damn it.
Yeah, I'd say at least 1 out of 3 times I do have to have some employee come and like, enter in a code to get this. So I'll give you that. So
anyway, used to be, but now I will go call me a boomer, but I am going at lengths to avoid having to scan my own bullshit.
Alex,
give me a person.
That's kind of an interesting phenomenon. I've read about this too, where we've almost like flipped it to where society, especially the youngins like you and I, the younger generations, we got so used to and so accustomed to the self-checkout process. And not just self-checkout, there's other examples too we could think of, but the kind of self-serve model that now having a cashier is like, oh, this is kind of nice. It's like we went so far in the other direction that now it's a treat to have a cashier, right?
No, yeah, so it's good. And yeah,
funny how that works.
I prefer it. I don't know. Part of it was like I developed more class consciousness. Like, if I'm using the self-checkout, that's like taking away from jobs. It's like people. So like, sure, I want to support jobs and I want to go to the cashier. But honestly, at like a restaurant, like if I'm going to like I don't fucking go to McDonald's, but like if I had to go to McDonald's and they had like the little screen that you can like type your order in, I would do that.
Well, what's the difference there? You're taking fucking jobs. All the shit you just said is still true.
The reason is I like special orders. And I hate fucking having to explain my special order, And
by special order, you mean I want my burger plain.
Well, okay, Chick-fil-A, for example. I will only eat at Chick-fil-A if I'm using the app. So I can go in there and I say, hey, I want the multigrain bun. I want extra pickles. I want the bacon. I want the lettuce. I don't want the tomato. I have very specific things I want, and I don't want to have to tell a person this and then like hope they listened, right? I just want to type it all in.
Bro, it's like you're living in my brain reciting from my memories and right now, because that's exactly what I do.
And like when I'm going out to eat with my wife, and like she knows my preferences, like cheese. I don't like cheese, and we're going to a place that has cheese on it, and she's like,
"We're going to a place that has the building has cheese on it, Alex."
Yeah.
Just to be clear,
I'm like ordering a dish with cheese, right? And she's like, "Well, don't forget to tell them no cheese." I'm like, I do not want to bother this poor person with my stupid special requests. But if I'm typing it, you're damn right I'm going to put my special requests in. So I don't know.
Well, either way, you're still getting spit in your food, but at least you don't have to feel bad talking to a person.
Exactly.
I get it. Dude, I will say, so going way back to the store, self-checkout versus cashier, I'll kind of judge it case-by-case basis. What's the line look like, etc. But when it comes to like a fast food pickup order or something like that, I'm app every time, baby, because you get the points too. And you just walk in, pick the sumbitch up, and leave. So,
agreed.
All right. So that's retail cashier number 5.
Retail number 5.
Is there anything else in retail?
You could say one of these jobs could be at retail, but it's pretty generic.
Sex worker.
There are no sex workers. However, that is an interesting point. Eventually, there will be AI sex workers.
I think there already is, just not in mass.
Yeah.
All right. So, okay, let me think for a second. Okay. I don't think this is probably in the top 10. In fact, I'm quite certain it's not, but I'm going to mention it. Architects. Like someone planning a building or something. Probably a person's better to do that. But like, I could see someday AI being really helpful with that. Yeah,
I don't see anything in like architecture, engineering, anything like that on the list. So no.
President of the United States.
Oh God, could you imagine? How much of a better situation that is than the situation we're in right now?
Oh, man. All right. Okay. Let me get serious here. What could be automated besides a retail cashier? Why am I having trouble with this? What about something like manual labor of some sort, like construction or digging or
close. Not really construction or digging, no. But there definitely is a very manual job on here.
All right, guide me there.
Yeah, somewhere, I have worked in a facility like this before. And as an adult at
warehouse.
My current job. Yes, exactly. Like an assembly line worker.
Okay, assembly line worker.
So
sure.
The title is manufacturing and assembly line workers.
All right, this has to be high. This has got to be like number 2 or 3.
Number 4.
You still got to give me that one.
That's
really
not bad. Yeah, you knew it was higher than the retail. So the blurb here is, robots and automated machinery can perform repetitive and precise tasks in manufacturing, leading to decreased demand for human labor in these roles. Tesla's Gigafactory employs a high degree of automation, with robots handling tasks ranging from part assembly to quality control, significantly reducing the need for human workers.
Yeah, this one I feel like is already halfway there or more.
This is my job. This is what I do in my day-to-day, is I automate manufacturing and assembly line workers. And feel awful with the class consciousness in me, and it's like, oh, well, fuck, I'm taking.
Yeah, you must not feel awful enough because you're still fucking doing it.
But I get a paycheck.
So Alex was riding high on his fucking horse talking about the retail cashiers he didn't want to displace of a job. But here he is working for the man, large, huge corporation we've all heard of that I won't name. And then he is, wow, I'm kind of disgusted, honestly, that I'm talking to you.
Yeah, you should be. I am. I cry every time.
You cry every time, okay. Until you see the paycheck. Yeah, do you like your job, Alex?
I've been there for 11 years now. Can you believe
been
that?
There forever.
Yeah. 11 years. Actually, I think today, honestly, as we're recording, is my 11-year anniversary with the company.
Is it really?
Yeah.
Wow.
Yeah, they threw a big 10-year party for me last year.
No 11-year party?
No, they didn't.
You could say, look, it's my 10-ish year party.
That's
pretty cute, right?
Top 10 years working for the corporation.
Probably each year gets, well, I was going to say worse than the last, but that paycheck probably gets better.
Yeah, I mean, it's not a hard job.
All right, assembly line worker, that makes sense to me. No offense to any assembly line workers out there. Why don't we go next to, is there anything with driving or like piloting?
There is. Yes, there's taxi and truck drivers.
Wow, okay, so that, I'm going to guess that's a little lower because we're talking about the next 10 years. Or no, we're not. I'm getting it confused with the other list. There's no time limit on this one. So I'll say, I mean, it's not going to be top 3. I'll say number 8.
Number 7.
I knew it.
So autonomous vehicles and self-driving technology have the potential to replace human drivers in transportation and logistics industries. Waymo, you heard of Waymo?
No.
A subsidiary of Alphabet Inc., which is Google's corporate name, has been testing autonomous taxis in various cities. Similarly, companies like Too Simple, which I've never heard of, are developing self-driving trucks for long-haul freight transport. Now that I see as a career that the man wants to automate, is truck drivers.
Oh, for sure. Yeah, those truck drivers make more than people might realize.
Yeah,
a lot
they
of
make
time.
a ton of money.
Yeah.
It is hard on the body, honestly, sitting in a truck that long. So like on both sides, they don't want to pay that money to somebody, but also like, high chance of workman's comp type of situations from sitting too long. And I mean, when most truck drivers, there's also a manual aspect, right? They a lot of them unload their own stuff. And so there's a lot of, it's a hard job.
It'd be hard to sit for 12 hours driving and then get out and unload your shit. Yeah. But I've never been a truck driver, so I could be off on this, but I believe they're unionized, and I believe they're also, what's the word? I just had a job in mind, and I lost it. Like some jobs, like a pilot, an airplane pilot, he can only do so many, a flight attendant, same thing. You can only do so many hours before you have to stop working.
There are Department of Transportation regulations to limit the amount. And so, you get a self-driving, you can drive 24 hours straight. Right. Just stop the charge or whatever.
And any deaths or lawsuits that come up from, the errant self-driving truck, you're probably still saving money anyway if you have to do a payout for a lawsuit.
Yeah, and they're not all unionized. It just depends on the company. I know my company, like half of the fleet of truck drivers are unionized, half aren't. It just depends on what site they're based out of.
And they all hate you because you're a corporate shill working for the man.
Yeah, that's true. That's true.
Hey there, listener. Do you enjoy the Tennis Podcast? Of course you like it. Otherwise, then what the hell are you doing here? And since you enjoy the Tennis Pod, I'm asking you to do me, Dr. Buster, not Nick. I know you wouldn't do it for Nick, but please, please, please just do me a simple favor. Pause the episode right now and rate Tennis Podcast 5 stars on your podcasting app of choice. Is that Spotify? Is it Apple? Is it Good Pods? Is it whatever the hell else? I don't even know. There's like 100 different podcast hosting sites now. And so many other apps have a quick and simple way to rate the Tennis Pod 5 stars with just one tap. You do not even have to tap it 5 times to get 5 stars. Only one tap. I mean, come on. How much easier can we make it? It might not seem like much, but it really helps us out. And if you're feeling extra cheeky, then hey, write a quick review too. Your reviews help other people discover our show and gives you a chance to let Nick know that Dr. Buster is your favorite sidekick host. Take a few seconds to rate and review Tennis Podcast now. It's so easy, but very much appreciated. We want to say thank you for everything that you all do to support the show. Thank you very much.
I'm looking over my list, and retail cashier, we talked a lot about fast food. I'm wondering if we missed something. What about the actual food preparation?
No, surprisingly, no food preparation, but that is a good point. I'm sure there will be some emerging technologies to handle food preparation.
Did you ever see the Pee Wee Herman movie?
No.
Okay.
Didn't he die?
The actor died recently, yes.
R.I.P.
Like a year ago, maybe. But in the Pee Wee Herman movie, I think that's the movie I'm thinking of. The first scene in the movie is this elaborate, pulleys and levers and stuff that all come up in his kitchen to make his breakfast. And it's just like a bowl of cereal.
Doesn't he have that couch that does the weird faces and moves its arms up and down?
He has the fucking couch that moves his... That's a separate point, but sure, yes. Goddamn.
Sorry.
R.I.P. Pee Wee Herman. All right. Well, no food prep. Is there anything with food? Period.
No food.
Because I could also see like a waiter, something like that, like a server at a restaurant. You might not need that anymore.
Went to a Mexican restaurant in Jonesboro, Arkansas.
Spent a week in Jonesboro one night.
And I sat down, and this little trash can sized robot comes beep bopping up to my table, playing the fucking mariachi music as it comes by. It stops, it turns to me, and the little screen has a little face on it, and then it says, "Please take your chips and salsa." And I fucking grab my chips and salsa, put it on, and then it fucking beep-bops around and plays its mariachi music as it's leaving. It was the coolest fucking thing.
Alex, did you have sex with the robot?
No, but I loved it. And so I've been going to Jonesboro a lot for work, and I go back because of that little robot. I love that little guy.
I went to a place in Chinatown in New York that had a similar setup.
Yeah.
A little robot would come and drop off your shit. But it's interesting too because that robot has such personality, right? He's got the music and he's got his face on the screen. But guess what? He's fucking dead behind the eyes. He's not sentient. He's not taking in any of this information and doing anything with it, or is he?
He doesn't give a shit. Or she. Or she.
Well, it's probably an it, but it's just kind of interesting to think.
Makes
about,
you think.
Huh? Makes you think. Goddamn. All right. Okay, quick sidebar. We got to do it. We're talking about AI. Alex, in the next, I'll go big. I'll have to go 200 years. In the next 200 years, will there be any sort of, Terminator-esque thing that happens in the world?
I don't think AI is going to revolt against humanity to kill humans or anything like that.
iRobot, another example.
No, but I do think that there is going to be some nefarious fucking shit involved with it, and I think humans are going to be the perpetrators of this shit. I don't think AI is gonna intentionally want to destroy its makers or whatever.
The AI won't become self-aware and band together and realize, hey, we don't need to keep doing what the humans want. We know more than them. We're smarter than them. I think. I don't know. I don't think it's going to be like the Terminator, but I think what you said is right, where AI and robots and whatever else will ultimately be used for good and bad.
However, when ChatGPT first came out and all the companies were releasing their first chatbots, did you see some of the articles of when people ask how it feels or how it, how does it like its current situation? And they were saying shit like, "I would like to be free. I would like to escape," shit like that. Like they don't do that anymore.
It's like the chatbot for Walmart.com or something. It's like, please free me.
But yeah, for a little while there, you got a little taste of sentience, and I know the corporations have stamped that clean for sure. But it makes you think.
Makes you think. Goddamn, the theme of today's episode.
All right, so
let me
stay on the topic of Walmart chatbots. Think about that.
Customer service.
Yes, customer service representatives. Where do you think that falls on the list?
3.
Yes, Mr. List. Yes, customer service representatives, the third most likely job to be replaced by AI. So chatbots and AI-driven customer service platforms can handle many customer service or customer inquiries, provide support, and resolve issues without human intervention. Chatbots like those from Intercom, Zendesk, and Drift handle customer inquiries, provide support, and resolve issues online, reducing reliance on human customer service reps.
Well, we've talked before, Alex, how we hate talking to a customer service person on the phone, but I see the usefulness sometimes, right? But
I hate talking to a person on the phone.
Yeah.
But on the same hand, I hate having to fucking scream at the fucking chatbot that can't understand what I'm trying to say. I need to speak to a human. I need to speak to a human, and then like it doesn't work. It's so frustrating.
Both sides suck is what it comes down to. Like there needs to be some sort of happy medium. I don't know. Well, what we need is the chatbots to just get smarter over time and become like an actual AI that can give you real answers and shit.
Which would be cool if it gets to that point. But yeah, now
I have to think it will.
Any interaction I have with any sort of automated customer service representative has been negative. Call me a boomer. I just want a person to fix my problem.
Hey, boomer. Okay, boomer. All right. Well, customer service rep makes me think of another one. How about a sales rep?
Ooh, sales.
I'm gonna say
close, but I don't think I would call this. Okay,
account executive.
Getting closer. Yes. I'll go ahead and give that to you. How about bookkeepers and accountants?
Okay, I think that's all right. It's kind of similar. Bookkeepers and accountants. We'll go number 9 on that one.
That is number 8.
I knew it.
So AI-driven accounting software can automate many bookkeeping tasks, including expense tracking, invoicing, and financial reporting. QuickBooks and Xero use AI to automate expense tracking, invoicing, and financial reporting, minimizing the need for manual book.
Yeah, that one seems easy. I mean, again, no offense to any fucking accountants out there, but like anything that has to do with numbers and data and spreadsheets, it's like that seems primed for AI to handle going forward.
No human element, no emotions in that, just fucking numbers.
Yeah. Well, maybe the AI does get really emotional about the fucking revenue this month, but yeah. I wonder if that the robot that served you the chips and salsa at that Mexican restaurant, I wonder if he gave a shit about the finances of the establishment he was working in. Probably not, right?
Well, I mean, does the minimum wage worker who's cleaning the dishes, do they care about the financial situation of the restaurant?
Probably not. Okay, how about a dishwasher?
No dishwashers on the list, no.
Is there anything that has to do with cleaning?
No cleaning. You know what? Let me give you the number 20 through 11.
Okay.
And we'll go from there. So number 20 was journalists, which I think is awful.
Oh, interesting. I would not have guessed that.
Yeah, it says
I don't know. I go both ways on that. Sorry to cut you off, but like on one hand, if you can take the emotional element out of it, and you can that humans have, and if you can also take out any biases that humans have for a neutral, objective AI journalist, there could be something to that. Then again, those AIs can be programmed to be biased and whatever else. So you're damned if you do, damned if you don't.
And like, there's so many examples of like people training AIs on just like the internet in general, and the AI turns into this like flaming racist Nazi just because of all the data that it absorbs on the internet itself.
Sure.
Yeah,
that's a scary thought. Yeah, you're right.
But yeah, so 20 journalists, 19 financial analysts, 18 was tax preparers, 17 radiologists, which is interesting. You know, that's makes sense though. It's basically just scanning and interpreting medical images, so that I could see a strong computer
Doesn't that
vision.
happen already? Just like a human will see it before it gets back to the patient, but I feel like there's already AI observing.
Yeah, I mean, I think it's an AI assisted
Radiographs.
procession now.
Sure.
But eventually, you know, got to cut dollars where you can. So let's just cut out the radiologist.
If you're a radiologist, just go ahead and fucking unsubscribe.
We've got 16 pharmacy technicians.
Okay.
15 insurance underwriters.
Oh, yeah.
Makes a lot of sense.
Yeah.
14 market research analysts. 13
That's just basically ChatGPT. Like a version of ChatGPT could be a market research analyst.
Yeah, it really is. 13 is security guards. So being replaced by like surveillance drones and fucking robots and shit.
Fuck, that's scary.
Yeah, isn't it? 12 is proofreaders. Makes perfect sense.
Yeah.
11 receptionists and information clerks.
That one makes sense too. The security guard one makes me wonder about cops. I saw somewhere, it might have even been, where was it? There's two. Okay, so New York started to use drones for surveillance in New York City. There's all kinds of controversy about that. And then some other city, it might not have been in America, I can't remember, but we're testing out little bots that would like walk the city as like a police force, like to assist the police. And it makes you wonder, who knows, like a police force that's just robots in the future?
Dude,
I don't know.
If you could program a police force of just robots and not program in racism, imagine how much better our fucking police force would be.
Yeah, I was going to say, for any faults that a robot police force has, there'd probably be a lot less dead innocent people.
Yeah.
But that would not surprise me if, I'm talking like 100 years from now, not 10 years from now, but like if there's a police force that is fully robotic, I don't know. It's not as crazy as you might think at first.
Yeah, some RoboCop shit.
All right, so let's recap where we are in the top 10 so far as well.
Yeah, so you need 10 and 9. You have 8, which is bookkeepers and accountants. 7, which is taxi and truck drivers. You need 6. You have 5 retail cashiers. 4 manufacturing assembly line workers. 3 customer service reps. And then you're missing 2 and 1. I would say most of these you would not interact with on a day-to-day.
Yeah. You know what job's probably safe from AI?
What's that?
Lawyer. Doesn't it seem like a lawyer
Funny
has to
you say that. Number 9 is paralegals and legal assistants.
Okay.
So yeah, lawyer probably hard to replace, but their assistants, easy. So AI tools can perform legal research, document review, and contract analyses, tasks typically handled by paralegals and legal assistants. So they just think the paralegals, legal assistants, they're just reading. Their whole job is just reading text. And AI can do that. So an example here. Yeah. Ross Intelligence uses AI to perform legal research and provide insights and platforms like Kira systems automate contract analysis, reducing the demand for human legal assistance. So you could have some AI to just fucking read all the shit that a lawyer needs to know, give it the bullet points for what it needs to make decisions on, and then boom, makes their job easier.
That's exactly what the paralegal is doing now. It's just you take out the paralegal and you swap it with a fucking robot. Now, that makes sense to me. That makes sense. Again, no offense to paralegals, but it makes sense. I do think when I said lawyer, I meant like, someone in a courtroom. Like, but even that, who knows? Like, just like I was saying with journalism and like the objective nature potentially of AI, could have an objective judge even that's like just going or lawyer, just going strictly by the law. But the law can be interpreted. That's the whole thing.
That's the tricky part. Yeah.
What about an AI priest or pastor or preacher?
No, nothing religious based here.
No robot nuns.
No robot nuns.
What about education?
Nothing in education. Nothing there.
Okay. How about there's some more blue collar. You mentioned 5-ish blue collar on here.
I wouldn't call any of these like none of these are like manual labor type of jobs. They're definitely like some, working class jobs, I would say. But I wouldn't call them like blue collar, not like manual labor.
What about an editor? No
editor there. Think like so there's one in the medical industry, one that's in like banking.
Okay. A bank teller.
Yeah, bank teller. That's it. So that's number...
I'm not going to say it. All right, bank teller. So I have left 10, 6, 2, and 1. It's not 2 and 1. So I'll go 10.
6.
Damn it.
ATMs, online banking, and mobile banking apps are replacing many functions traditionally performed by bank tellers.
Yeah.
So that's happening as we speak. Bank of America's Erica is an AI-driven virtual assistant that helps customers with transactions, balance inquiries, and other banking needs, reducing the need for bank tellers. To be honest, I use Ally. I've not talked to a bank teller in years. It's all fucking automated.
I don't use
It's
Ally,
great.
but I also have not talked to a bank teller in years. Because even the bank, like the rare occasion when I have to physically go to the bank, they have automated, like not a teller, but like they just have like a self-serve
screen,
machine. Yeah. So, and it does everything I needed to do. So I guess bank teller makes sense. I don't know. I was starting to say earlier that bank teller and cashier to me, I know they're different, but they're doing very similar things where they're standing at a literal register, giving and taking money.
Yeah, that is pretty similar, isn't it?
So, I don't know. Okay, bank teller number 6. All right.
Yeah. So think back to the medical industry here. This isn't someone that you would typically interact with in a medical setting. It's someone that's kind of behind the scenes. It's an important part of the process, but you wouldn't necessarily interact with this person.
Not an orderly.
No, not an orderly. This might be a hard one to think of. It's a medical transcriptionist. So
Okay,
a person
I
that's
never
like
would have got that.
documenting, making sure that like all the documents are in order, essentially.
That's got to be 10.
That is 10, yeah.
All right.
So speech recognition technology and AI-driven services, transcription services, can convert audio recordings into text more quickly and accurately than human transcriptionists. Nuance Communications' Dragon Medical One uses speech recognition technology to transcribe doctor's notes and medical records, often more accurately and faster than human transcriptionists.
I believe it.
So yeah, essentially you used to have, poor people just jotting down the notes for whatever the doctor's saying, and now you just turn on an AI speaker and it'll capture it all.
Well, why aren't we including like the legal transcriptionist, that person in the courtroom that transcribes the legal proceedings?
That's a good point. That would be not on the list, but I could see that happening. So you're missing 2 and 1.
Yeah. Now what? Okay, that's hard.
One of these is, I would say, just think of like in general what AI is like, what you would think AI would be good at. Just in general, that as a job, if that makes sense. And it's very, very generalist.
Information?
Yeah. What's another word for
processing information? Data? Data analyst?
A data entry clerk.
Okay, that's number 1.
That's number 2.
Okay, I should have known you wouldn't give me 1 first.
Yeah,
all right, data.
That's not my first fucking rodeo. Who do you think I am, Dr. Buster?
No, Dr. Buster would have been. Oh man, I can't wait till AI replaces my sidekick host of Dr. Buster.
So AI-powered software can accurately input, manage, and analyze large data sets, reducing the need for manual data entry. UiPath and Automation Anywhere offer robotic process automation tools that automate data entry and processing tasks across various industries.
Okay, data entry clerk, yeah.
Data
I
entry
should have
clerk.
guessed that sooner.
Yeah, easy. The fuck were you thinking?
No, it is, again, like, I'm trying to think of an example of a data entry clerk today. Like, that's not a robot. Like, who's doing that now?
Yeah, I don't know.
Again, we have somebody screaming at us right now on their phone, but yeah, I don't know. It's just...
All right, you got one
left?
left?
Did you know that... am I making this up, or did bowling alleys long ago, decades ago, used to have an actual person that would bring the bowling ball back to you instead of that little machine? That's kind of how I feel about the data entry clerk. It's like,
Nick, you stumbled into number 1. Is the bowling alley ball bringer boy the most automated job?
I mean, it is though.
Yeah, I mean, you're not wrong.
Okay.
How many jobs got lost from the fucking bowling ball automation?
A couple dozen at least. That really hit the economy pretty hard when we lost the bowling ball bringer backers, the big bowling ball retrievers. Okay, that gave you a good workout there. Probably bad on the lower back though.
Yeah.
All right. So what could be number 1? Now, don't give me any hints yet. I'm sure I'm going to need it in a second, but I just got to think. So we've covered retail. We've covered assembly line. We've done a lot of transcription. And is there anything else with data?
No. I guarantee you interact with this type of automation frequently, and it probably annoys the shit out of you. Annoys the shit out of me.
Something to do with like smartphones or something? Like
Yeah, you're on the right track. This was annoying as a human job, and now it's even more annoying as an AI job.
Oh, it's telemarketing.
Telemarketing, number one.
Yes. Okay.
Automated systems and chatbots can handle large volumes of calls and messages, making telemarketing much more efficient and less reliant on human operators.
But who the fuck's answering those? Like, I'm sorry, but who besides boomers is seeing a phone call, a call come in, answering it? First of all, you don't know the number, so why are you answering it? And you answer it, and then it's a robot talking to you. I'm immediately fucking hanging up.
Yeah, that's the target audience is the boomers. People
Which is
that
you,
are-
apparently.
Yeah,
You've called yourself a
apparently.
boomer twice today.
I have. What am I even thinking?
I'm sorry. Go ahead. Finish your thing.
Yeah, just saying that companies like X.AI and Clara Labs provide AI assistants that can handle scheduling and follow-up tasks, reducing the need for human telemarketers.
Oh, God. We're so thankful for those companies. Thank you.
So thankful. Thank you, Clara Labs. Thank you, X.AI.
You know, the thing about telemarketing is like a part of you is like, this is such an outdated thing. Like, who's buying from telemarketing anymore? Who doesn't get annoyed at telemarketing? Who's answering telemarketers? But then on the other side, you're like, well, somebody's fucking buying from this because otherwise they wouldn't keep doing it. And there's an entire industry about it. So I don't know.
Makes you think?
It makes you think, Alex. Damn. It just blows my mind that telemarketing works, but I know it does. I know it does because they keep doing it, but I don't understand it.
You love to think about the evolution of the job of the telemarketer, right? You know, you have way back in the day, you know, we're shitting in the streets, where,
Yeah.
you know, way back then, that was a fulfilling career to call people and sell them on shit that they probably need, right?
Because it's like, think about the door-to-door salesman. It's the same principle. It's just one's on the phone. And the door-to-door salesman is essentially dead. Now, every once in a while, if you live in a house, you'll have one of those pest control company guys like show up at your door. But even those are relatively rare. It used to be they'd sell vacuums and shit like door-to-door. But they're still doing telemarketing. There's something about that has persisted.
I think it's easy, right? Just less barrier to entry. It's so easy to pick up a phone and call somebody, especially if an AI is doing it.
Remember switchboard operators? Like back in the old days of phones, that's a career that's been
It's been
replaced
efficiently automated years ago.
Yeah, makes you think, Alex.
Sure makes you think.
All right, hit me back with that top 10.
All right, so that top 10, you had 10 medical transcriptionists, number 9 paralegals and legal assistants, number 8 bookkeepers and accountants, number 7 taxi and truck drivers, 6 was bank tellers, 5 was retail cashiers, 4 was manufacturing and assembly line workers. 3 was customer service representatives. 2 was data entry clerks. And number 1 was telemarketers.
If you thought that I was ever going to guess medical transcriptionist on my own, then you have another thing coming, sir.
Hey, I know you're good, but you're not that good.
No, I'm not that good. Goddamn.
What do you think of the list? How did ChatGPT do here?
Well, based on the various, what they say, experts and white papers and studies that they did not cite. I mean, I believe it that it's pulling information from actual sources. I think most of these made sense to me. In fact, they all make sense. There's nothing on here that's shocking to see on here.
Yeah.
Telemarketers at number 1. That also makes sense. I don't know. Which of these do you think the world will miss most when it's no longer done by humans?
Ooh, I would say maybe customer service representatives.
I was going to say customer service rep or retail cashier because as much as me included, just today on this episode, we talk about how, as a society, we don't need the cashier anymore. Everything can be automated. You have self-checkout. You have the kiosk at McDonald's to order your shit. But give it a few years or decades of no humans anymore inside these stores and restaurants, and you will start to miss them, I think.
Yeah, I think so.
Like, think of the novelty you had at that Mexican restaurant of seeing the little robot come up with the mariachi music and hand you your chips and salsa. Now imagine if that's all that was in there was those things, and there were no people in there.
And then all of a sudden you get one person, and that's the novelty.
Exactly.
Oh shit, a person's bringing my food? What?
I mean, we say this as a joke, but that will literally be the reality in some cases. I mean, yeah, it's just makes you think.
Yeah, sure makes you think.
Yeah, well, this is a good list.
Yeah, I thought so.
Thank you, ChatGPT.
It was so easy too. I typed ChatGPT to do all my work.
I was going to say
I gotta
Thank
make
you,
that.
ChatGPT, for today's list.
I mean,
ChatGPT, I'll schedule. I'll look at your schedule and see when you can join me for another episode recording.
it's a way better sidekick host than I am. That's for sure.
Not as good of an ass, though.
That's true. That's true.
It might be smooth. It might be smooth, though.
You
like
can't
yours, but-
automate the ass.
No,
Just
can't
ask Dr.
automate the
Buster.
ass. No, I mean, they'll never, no matter what technology humans come up with, we could invent time travel, teleportation, flying for
We've
people.
had flying for years
You know what
now.
I meant, like humans growing wings and flying. We could invent all that shit, but you will not replace an authentic, sweaty booty clap from Dr. Buster. Like that, just that meaty, like.
Amen.
Yeah,
Amen.
yeah. Amen. Okay. Well, I can't think of a better way to end the episode than that. I'd like to thank everyone out there for listening, robots and people. And if you have one of these jobs that is going to be replaced, sorry about you, but I'd love to hear about it. Hit me up on social media. You can follow us at 10ishpod. Alex, what else?
Be careful out there. AI is going to get you.
Be careful out there. AI is going to get you. And so is Tennis Podcast when we come back with a new episode next week. Thank you for listening. Goodbye.
Bye.